Most people believe honor killings only happen in distant places like Iraq or Afghanistan, not in the United States. But tragically, they're wrong. And not just anywhere, but in one of the most liberal states, Washington. This is the case of Ihsan Ali, an Iraqi father who tried to kill his own daughter outside her high school because she refused to be forced into an arranged marriage. He thought he could get away with it, that he could bring his oppressive beliefs with him to America. But he quickly found out that the laws don't bend to the same brutal traditions. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what happened, how his daughter fought for her life, and why this case is bigger than just one family. Let's get into it.
A 17-year-old fights for her life. This is one of those cases that shocks you to your core. It makes you wonder how two parents could bring a baby girl into the world and raise her, only to attempt to take her life later on. There are so many questions that remain, like, why would you move from a place like Iraq to the United States if you do not agree with our laws and way of life? While many Muslim scholars explicitly condemn honor killings as un-Islamic, cases like Ihsan Ali's illustrate how religious and cultural teachings are harmful and destructive. How can an entire family be complicit in the abuse and attempted murder of their own daughter and sister? It sounds like there was not a single normal person in this young girl's family. On October 18th, 2024, outside of the Timberline High School in Lacey, Washington, a fight erupted outside of the school. A 17-year-old girl, who has not been named, ran to her school to run away from her parents, Ihsan Ali and Zahra Ali. She said that her parents were trying to kill her, which resulted in a school lockdown. Her parents, being aware of her going to the school, followed her there. What unfolded next was a series of events that shocked the community. If you're driving by a high school and you see a fight break out, your first assumption might be that it's a fight between two students, especially if a crowd starts gathering around them. The crowd quickly realized, though, that this was not a fight between two teenage students, but a rage-filled father trying to kill his own daughter. Ihsan Ali had been pressuring his 17-year-old daughter into an arranged marriage to an older man back in Iraq. When she refused to board the plane to Iraq, he destroyed her cell phone and threatened to honor kill her. His daughter ran away from home, and she went to her high school to get help. Younger girls marrying older men is not a new phenomenon in Islam. Prophet Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 and consummated the marriage when she was 9. In this hadith, you can see Muhammad's thought process behind what makes a good marriage prospect. He says, "When I got married, Allah's messenger said to me, 'What type of lady have you married?' I replied, 'I have married a matron.' He said, 'Why don't you have a liking for the virgins and for fondling them?' Jabir also said, 'Allah's messenger said, why didn't you marry a young girl so that you might play with her, and she with you?' The 17-year-old victim also told police that aside from her mom and dad, she doesn't even feel safe from other family members. She said the abuse has been happening long before this event transpired. Her father frequently disciplined her when she didn't make tea or other petty tasks. When her father, Ihsan, caught up with his daughter at the school, he attacked her, pushing her face into the dirt as he strangled her. His daughter told police that she lost consciousness 3 or 4 times as her father attempted to take her life. Before she blacked out, her father put her into a headlock, and she recalled the father saying, quote, "It's not right. You are not supposed to do this." One student that spoke Arabic shouted to the father, "She doesn't want to go with you. Leave her alone." Ihsan had multiple opportunities to rethink what he was doing and stop, but he didn't care. When he was told by the Arabic-speaking student, this enraged him even more, and that's when he began punching the victim's boyfriend. Other students, and even the 17-year-old's boyfriend, desperately tried to pry Ihsan off of his daughter without success. They screamed at him to stop, but Ihsan ignored their pleas. The boyfriend said that he watched his girlfriend's eyes roll into the back of her head and her arms flailed before she went limp and unconscious. 2 weeks before this attack, Ihsan and Zahra tried to kidnap the boyfriend, which resulted in a temporary restraining order. Prior to this event unfolding, the boyfriend's family also cited concerns of a gun being present in the Ali family home, worrying that Ihsan and Zahra would carry out the honor killing with the firearm. When Josh Wagner, a Good Samaritan, was driving by Timberline High School, he witnessed the attack unfolding. Wagner decided to stop and help, thinking this was a fight between two kids. He quickly realized, though, that this was a father abusing his daughter, and he restrained Ihsan until the police arrived. Honor is a huge deal in Islam, so much that there's even hadith telling stories of incidents where killings were carried out to preserve honor. In Sahih Muslim, the following details a man killing someone for being with his wife. It says, and I quote, "If I were to see a man with my wife, I would have struck him with the sword, and not with the flat part of it." When Allah's messenger heard that, he said, "Are you surprised at Saad's jealousy of his honor? By Allah, I am more jealous of my honor than he, and Allah is more jealous than I. Because of his jealousy, Allah has prohibited abomination, both open and secret, and no person is more jealous of his honor than Allah." In Iraq, honor killings do happen, and the investigations are often botched. Even if there is a documented case, the focus is usually on the woman's behavior, not the man who carried out the murder. Usually, situations like this have to do with a woman refusing marriage or trying to initiate divorce. They are viewed as a private matter that will be settled within the family. Luckily for the victim, she had help from a Good Samaritan, as well as law enforcement. If she were in Iraq, the outcome of this case would have been way different.
Are you a fan of Islam? Then please don't subscribe. The rest of you, please subscribe now to keep up to date with the latest uploads, as we will be covering more such videos like the connection of honor killing to Islam. Let's get back to it.
Ihsan Ali's bizarre and distorted thinking. There's body cam footage of the interaction between Ihsan, his wife Zahra, and their other daughter Haneen at the scene of the crime with police.
My sister's there's somebody in the office.
I watched the entire footage, and what I saw did not align with people who were either remorseful or cognizant of the seriousness of what they just did. In the beginning of the body cam footage, you'll see an officer talking with the other daughter, Haneen. She says, "My sister ran away, and they're in there," meaning her sister and boyfriend are inside of the school. Meanwhile, in front of Haneen, her father is being restrained on the ground while police handcuff him.
So, I didn't talk with her. Yeah, give me her. I didn't talk with her.
I'll have her give you a call.
Yeah, I didn't talk with her.
Okay. So, hey, so Mom, do you remember we talked about that you cannot be on Thurston Timberline property? Okay.
The mother, Zahra, is screaming, but not because her daughter was almost killed. Her sympathy is obviously for her husband, who is about to be charged with attempted murder, attempted kidnapping, and assault. Don't worry, Zahra. You're going to be joining him soon. While in the back of a police car, Ihsan asks the officer over and over again to speak with his daughter. Ihsan seems to demonstrate a lack of awareness of the seriousness of what just happened.
I want to speak with my daughter.
You're not speaking to anyone at the moment.
Yes, I want to speak with my daughter.
You will not speak to your daughter.
Why? This is my daughter over here. I want to let her to go take her mom to home.
Okay, well, we're investigating a criminal investigation right now.
Just let me to tell her to take her mom. Not like that. Just I tell her to go home, she will go home.
His affect is flat, showing no fear, remorse, guilt, or anything associated with someone who is being arrested for attempted murder. Actually, if anything, he seems to be in denial, confused almost. He says that his daughter, which I am assuming he means 21-year-old Haneen, needs to take her mom home. He also said, if I tell her to go home, she will go home. He didn't ask anything about his 17-year-old daughter. He didn't ask if she was okay or what hospital she might be taken to. He shows absolutely zero concern for his daughter at all. Only Haneen and his wife Zahra. Let's watch how Ihsan and his family continue to spiral. The officer reads him his rights and all he asks about is talking to his wife. Again, he has an opportunity to show care and concern for his daughter, but he doesn't.
Okay, so again, you're not under arrest at the moment, but I'm going to read you your rights, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to your lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I want to speak with my wife. Let her go. Let her
Do
go
you
home.
understand these rights I've explained to you?
Zahra!
It's a yes or a no, okay?
Zahra, تعال هنا!
Isan is in a car, about to be taken away and booked in jail. He still has a chance to demonstrate remorse. Let's see what he cares about the most.
So everything's audio, video recorded, okay?
Okay.
So do you understand these rights I've explained to you?
حنين! زهرة! أخذ السيارة منها وديتها ليبوقوها!
I need a yes or a no, okay? Or I'm going to assume you don't
أخذ
want
السيارة
to...
منها يبوقوها! السيارة يبوقوها!
Wow, Isan. He keeps saying Sayara, which means car in Arabic. Translators have explained that he was worried about his car being stolen by the police. This is a man that tried to murder his daughter with his bare hands, is about to be booked in jail on multiple serious charges, and his main concern is the police taking his car? I have no words. Let's watch more and see from the perspective of Haneen and her mother Zahra. Maybe by this point we can see some sort of empathy from them.
He did not assault no one. This is my daughter. No, he didn't. I have proof. I was recording everything. He kicked me in the face. He pushed my mom and my dad. He grabbed it with another person to the ground. He didn't do everything. A lot of students were already. I'm recording right now. I'll show you later. I want to talk to my dad right now.
Okay, well that's not happening the way you're acting.
Wow. Can we talk about accountability and blame shifting for a moment? Look at these two. You know, one might think by how hysterical they're acting that they're worried about their daughter and sister. But nope. The sister Haneen is blaming the Good Samaritan that restrained her dad instead of recognizing that attempting to murder someone in broad daylight is kind of heinous and not to mention a crime. As hysterical as they are, the only concern both of them have is for Isan.
Can you go...
He was choking me. This dude.
But that's the point. He's already detained. Do you have anything that goes back?
Because I arrived in that scene.
I know, but you said you had... I just...
That's him right there.
Okay.
He punched me right there. See, he's trying to get... He punched me because he threw my phone. I was holding it like this, and he threw it right there. And that's why it got cut off right here. See, I was recording because I could see, and he was right there. I was trying. He threw my phone. That's why I cut, and then that's when he's trying to get to me. You see how she's holding him? Yeah.
Look at this. Does she think officers are stupid? She's showing them a video of her father being restrained until they arrive to put him where he belongs, in jail. She's still working hard on creating a narrative of putting blame on the bystander, trying to rationalize her family's disgusting actions, but the police officer explained he had a right to be restrained.
See, this person, I don't know why she's being, why she's in the seat, and why is he choking?
Yeah.
He's choking. This is not a crime either. They're choking. That's like murder. They're choking him down. When I just showed the first video of the guy.
They're detaining him. Okay. He had a right to be detained. Okay.
She says they're choking her dad, and it's kind of like murder. Right, Haneen. This is exactly what your dad did to your sister, and everyone is trying to restrain your insane father until help arrives. No one is trying to murder your dad for trying to murder your sister. Legally, they are allowed to detain him until police arrive. Citizen arrest is legal in Washington state, the stipulation being that the citizen is witnessing the crime, and the crime is serious in nature. The force needs to be reasonable, and the suspect needs to be handed over to police upon their arrival. I think what Good Samaritan Josh Wagner did meets those qualifications. Let's see how Haneen continues to handle her new reality.
What do I do now? What do you want me to do? What did I do? It's my sister, and
Calm down.
my mom,
Yeah, I get it.
and my dad, and what do I do? So
Well,
who's
you
gonna
need-
have it?
So
Who's
your
gonna-
mom-
to
your-
my siblings.
Your mom's not involved, and you're not, other than being here and seeing it, right? So you, and
My
you're,
siblings, my siblings, my little brother, my dad.
okay. So you guys will be fine,
No,
okay?
it's not fine. How is this fine? How is this fine? How can you say that? How can you say that? How can you say that? How do you?
You,
I know there's a lot going on.
How did?
The best
How
thing
did
we can
you
do right
say
now
that?
is let us do our investigation, and then
You-
we can give
you
you more
can't-
information
you
about
can't-
what's going to happen with your sister and what's going to happen with your dad, okay? So what we need from you is to just kind of try and relax as much as possible, give us a good statement. In a little while, you'll be able to talk to your dad. So right now, you're going to have to play the waiting game, right?
Ah, here we go. Here comes the reality check. She's starting to realize that the police aren't buying her story, and she can't save Isan, so she's falling apart. Haneen also does not realize that the police are aware her 17-year-old sister and her boyfriend said that Haneen tried to fight off the other kids so her parents could carry out the murder. When the 17-year-old was taken to the hospital, she had scratches on her neck and complained of jaw pain and had trouble swallowing. Also, her father had choked her so hard that blood vessels burst in her eyes and she had abrasions on her shoulder. Her boyfriend suffered from what is known as a boxer's fracture from the attack. Fractures like this can result from punching an object with a clenched fist. What happened a few days later? Zahra Ali was not arrested at the same time as her husband Isan. Her arrest came 4 days later, as police found out that while Isan was punching his 17-year-old daughter's boyfriend, Zahra was taking her turn, choking her daughter. After this incident, on the night of October 22nd, apparently, Zahra drove her youngest children, 2 boys aged 5 and 3, into Canada to stay with an uncle. This was before her arrest, so she was not flagged at the border with a pending arrest warrant at the time. Zahra tried to flee to Canada herself when she realized she was going to be charged along with her husband Isan. When she tried to cross the border from Washington into Canada a second time, she was flagged at the border and detained until the Whatcom County Police arrived. At the border, Zahra was arrested on domestic assault charges and taken back to Washington State. 2 separate judges arraigned Isan and Zahra Ali, and both of them cited the parents as high risk for fleeing and not showing up to their court dates. The judges were right, because that's exactly what Zahra tried to do. When Isan was arrested, his bail was set at $150,000. The conditions of his bail were that he does not contact his 17-year-old daughter, his wife, and that he had to wear an ankle monitor. His 17-year-old daughter was moved to a safe house. Initially, Isan was not charged with attempted murder. He was released for 12 days, then rearrested because his charges were upgraded to second-degree attempted murder. His new bail was set at $1 million. As for his wife Zahra, she was arrested the same day as her husband was initially released. Her bail was set at $500,000. Both parents are still in jail. This case is a stark reminder that honor killings are not just a problem over there. They are happening right here, even in the most liberal parts of the West. Isan Ali thought that he could enforce the same brutal traditions he left behind in Iraq, but he learned the hard way that the U.S. has laws that actually protect women, not punish them for seeking freedom. Had this been Iraq, his daughter might not have survived. She would have been just another name on a long list of women killed for dishonoring their families, with no justice in sight. But here, she got a chance to fight back, to run, to seek help, and to live. This case proves that the problem isn't just individuals, but an awful ideology that values control over compassion, submission over freedom. And as long as people try to carry these beliefs with them, cases like this will continue to happen. But there's a difference. In the West, they don't get away with it. We know better. Thank you to our community on Patreon who are keeping Islam away. Your support is invaluable. We want to make the channel bigger than ever in 2025. If you are grateful for our work and want to support us, please join us as well on Patreon or our YouTube membership by clicking Join Now. This is Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim signing out.